4 at the Ballarat Blitz. That's it, the last one of the weekend. It's the Vixens taking on the Thunderbirds in this final hit out here at Ballarat. On behalf of Netball Vic and the Melbourne Vixens, we'd like to acknowledge the Wadawurrung people as the traditional owners and custodians of the lands we're on today and pay our respects to elders past and present. Of course, we are here in Ballarat thanks to the support of the City of Ballarat and the Victorian Government. What a great weekend it's been for the local community. Nice to see so many netball teams coming in as part of their pre-season preparations. The off-court team bonding is just as important. My name is Hannah Kuhar and joining me today is Michael Hutchinson. Michael, you've been around a lot of netball, you've seen a lot of pre-season tournaments. How's the standard and intensity of this one feeling?
I'd be lying if I didn't say that the standard increases each and every year. I think sometimes you turn up to a pre-season and you think, they're operating at 80% or that, we're going to get the same output as last year. Athletes, the high performance space continues to evolve and refine and excel all the time and in very short spaces of time. So the standard has been incredibly impressive. They play like points are on the line and we're, in Super Netball season proper. But we're 27 days out and it really feels like they're champing at the bit to get out on court and be playing for championship points.
It does feel very similar to the normal SSN season. Of course, we're playing 4 15-minute quarters today. Super Shot is in play once we head to the Power 5, so we'll talk you through that if you're new to the netball setup. Of course, you mentioned the season is very quickly coming up on us, kicking off on Saturday the 13th of April. So if you're a Vixens fan and wanting to head to the home games, tickets are on sale now, so head to melbournevixens.com.au or Ticket Tech to book. And whilst you're there, you can pick up a membership. Again, head to melbournevixens.com.au to sort that one out. Also, pop in your calendar Thursday, the 4th of April. The Vixens are hosting their annual Fan Day at Federation Square. Plenty of opportunities to meet players, grab photos, bit of food from the food trucks, face painting. It's a day for everyone. So get all of that sorted. And can I say, the stands are packing out. We've got a 3,000 capacity stadium here at Selkirk. And I'm loving all the Vixens merch. I'm spying some T-shirts. I might have to keep my eyes out. We've got a little merch stand here at Selkirk Stadium. But if you're at home and liking what you see in the crowd, shop.melbournevixens.com.au. Is spying any merch that you want to get your hands on?
I was not going to join the queue when I turned up at 10 o'clock this morning. The queues were already out the doors. Brand new range for the Vixens this season. I'm going to have to pick myself up a jumper or two, I think, on the way out.
Yeah, liking the scarves. Of course, it's quite warm in Ballarat here today. 30 degrees yesterday. Today's feeling about 26. Nice and chilled within the stadium, but already scarf and beanie territory and some beautiful hoodies to get your hands on. So lots of way to show your loud and proud support for the Melbourne Vixens. We're 1.5 minutes away from the first whistle, so let's get stuck into these starting sevens. A few different faces around for both teams today. From the Thunderbirds, goal shooter Romelda Aiken-George, goal attack Lauren Frew, wing attack Georgie Horges, centre Laurie Sherian, wing defence Taylor Williams, goal defence Latanya Wilson, goalkeeper Shamira Sterling Humphrey, and on the bench Lucy Austin, Molly Watson, Matilda Garrett, Tyler Orr and Sophie Casey. A few different faces in the starting seven, Michael, compared to yesterday.
Yeah, there is, and the Thunderbirds, I think, will be probably taking that last 15 minutes against the Giants into this one as well and want to put their best foot forward with a fresh starting seven today.
And for the Vixens, goal shooter Sophie Garvin, goal attack Kira Austin, wing attack Hannah Mundy, goal at centre Kate Maloney, the captain, wing defence Kate Eddy, goal defence Em Mannix, goalkeeper Rudy Ellis, and on the pine, Gabby Coffey, Emily Andrew, Lily Graham, Zara Walters and Jo Weston. Although Jo Weston not donning the playing dress, what do we know about that situation?
Simply load management today, no injury to speak of. Probably similar to Joe Harton not playing yesterday, simply load management. As we say, we're only 4 weeks out from the season and want to make sure they're ready to go.
The players are ready to go, and that's the first whistle. Of course, yesterday the Fever beat the Vixens 66-62, and the Thunderbirds defeated the Giants 66-52. So both teams wanting to finish the weekend on a high ahead of Super Netball's pre-season tournament, the Team Girls Cup, taking place next weekend in Sydney. So Vixens fans, if you're staying at home, you can catch those matches live on Foxtel and KO. Plenty of Vixens fans in the stands at Selkirk today in Wendouree.
And umpires for today, Kate Wright and Justin Barnes, with Nathan Begley, the reserve.
Thunderbirds, patient in this first play. Rudy Ellis sat on her behind. The strength of Aiken George under the post. Just too good. Thunderbirds breaking the Vixens already. Looking to settle on their own centre pass. Look from Horges, donning the wing attack bib, as she did for the most part of last year, but we did see her in goal attack yesterday. Misconnection here from Sherian. Vixens, that baseline throw-in, they've practiced this a few times over the summer. 2 underhanded passes from Eddie, then to Mundy. Mundy back to Eddie.
Oh,
and what a ball.
Strong take from Sophie Garvin to open the Vixens account.
Fans are happy to have the Vixens on the board. 2 minutes into the first term. Austin, patient, offers a pocket drive. Mundy doesn't want it. Maloney searching for options. Austin, she puts the ball up fluently as though she had her target in Garvin sorted, but that was not the pass that Garvin wanted.
Certainly not against Shamira Sterling-Humphrey.
Sherian's centre pass. Horges quickly receives. A huge ball from Taylor Williams out the back. And how nice is it when wing defence gets stats on the board for goal assists?
Few and far between, but that was really confident. Great vision to the circle from Williams. And Sterling-Humphrey has those for breakfast.
Kate Eddy, maybe she was wanting the assist, but it went awry. Rudy Ellis out for the fly. Just didn't communicate with M. Mannix well enough for them to pull it in. Thunderbirds, baseline throw in. Goal line, should I say. It's a term of hot contention. But Rudy Ellis comes up with the hands. She's patient. Spies Eddie. Eddie's calling for a bit of mercy from Maloney.
Never turn your back on the ball, Kate Maloney.
The captain with her head down. Mundy, great take. Maloney with the wrestle.
Yeah, unfortunate too. Williams had great line. Took her body right round. It was a possession call in the end.
Garvin wrestling for the foot real estate in the hold to the post, and just at the last minute Sterling-Humphrey takes her foot off the pedal and Garvin converts.
Yeah, Sophie Garvin just had great timing on the hold on Wilson as well. Oh,
Ellis on fire.
Great movement, great footwork to get around in front.
She's one to watch. She's been hot already. First 4 minutes. Stack of ball for the defender. She's been a great pickup for the Vixens. And down the other end, Austin trying to find Garvin under the post, but penalty. Austin will take it. She makes good of it, and the Vixens, despite giving up their first centre pass, 4-2 with the lead now, their centre. Maloney gives and drives. Garvin by herself. She holds it now, and the connection with Mundy's much better until falling out of court.
I mean, centimetre perfect. Sophie's got the right shoes on today to have been able to stay in court.
Austin trying to sweep around the post, but Garvin taking all the space. Austin off court can't offer anything. That connection between the goalers for the Vixens already looking so potent, Michael.
Yeah, and they've had time at the Australian Diamonds as well. So certainly fortuitous to be able to bring that into a Super Netball team. It'll hold the Vixens, or it should hold them in good stead. Alice hand to another ball. A 5-1 run now for the Vixens.
Ellis, she's everywhere. The foot positioning out the front, allowing her to get the better of Frew and work around the body. Those spidery arms just everywhere, causing Thunderbirds some troubles. Aiken George pulls the rebound. But Rudy Ellis, definitely a player to watch today.
Well, she got the start yesterday as well. This time she has Mannix out in front. And obviously looking to step up in the absence of Joe Weston being rested today.
Sterling Humphrey, the captain, trying to do her best to cause some disruptions for the T-Birds. Vixens too good. Thunderbirds patient round the middle. Austin's arms are well and truly amongst it. T-Birds taking their time in the middle third. So many balls to swing to Williams. Aiken George offering on the other side of the court, but the mid-quarters don't want to use it because they know Rudy Ellis is hunting. And the Vixens defence, very impressive.
Yeah, it was really tight, and they managed to really block off all avenues for the Thunderbirds really well. And contested at the right moment.
Mundy, impressive roll through the middle. She'll want the pocket, but that space is already taken. Garbin coming out. 2-on-2 in the circle. Williams not happy. She's been called out. Mundy.
That is not the ball to be putting in to the Vixens goal circle with two Jamaican defenders. That screen was not set. Too much movement on it.
Garbin under the post. She doesn't want to shoot. Austin really being jostled at the back at the hands of Latanya Wilson.
Poor outlet from Garbin too. Thunderbirds into attack and still being well held up on this transition. Hit circle edge now through Horges.
Horges works to the top of the ring. Eddie out of play. And that's the ball down deep to Frew.
First goal from Lauren Frew. Bit of a lower scoring last few minutes.
Garbin already having to do the work. The ball might be a third away, but in that goal shooter bib, there's no time, and that's the work that pays off. Creating all the room for Austin under the post solo. Such a clever combination from the Vixers goalers. Big ball to Frew. She takes it.
Yeah, it asked a lot.
Over the head of Ellis. She's quick, but can't time that one perfectly. Frew doesn't want to shoot, wants it closer to the post. Aiken George, that's what she can do. Offer the post option, albeit too short on the shot. We're over halfway into this 15-minute term. Vixens, a balanced start today. Much better than yesterday until you can't pass over the head of Sterling Humphrey. She'll make you pay every time.
No, there was half a second hesitancy from the feed, and then I think Kira Austin thought she should have come up with that one. Kate Wright says play on, and then the hold also not convincing from Garbin. I'll need to just sort some things out there in the Vixens attack end.
And the Thunderbirds they're calling a timeout. They've clawed it back to a one goal deficit. Oh no, maybe not a timeout. Just wants to change the ball. Romelda Aitken-George not happy with the ball that was on offer. Maybe a strategic, just taking her time with the play, because Thunderbirds, this is an important play for them. Centre pass, one goal down, they can draw it to a draw. Awesome hold from Aitken-George. New ball doing wonders. Oh, quick hands. Really quick hands there Taylor Williams getting stuck into it. Hands over pressure again over Maloney.
Now the Vixens struggling across the transverse line, and a substitution now as we head into the Power 5 period. Lucy Austin coming on at goal attack for the Thunderbirds.
Lauren Frew taking a spell, receiving some feedback from Tanya Obbs, the coach, and a little bum tap. She's done well in her 10 minutes of service thus far. Maloney, meanwhile, awesome ball. She reads that. Unfortunately, Latanya Wilson wasn't reading the play, so she can get that baseline ball in. Vixens looking good, 1 goal lead.
Yeah, just not enough movement there from Sherian on that pass.
Maloney able to tap and cause the turnover just as...
Or just wanted to win it back.
And the crowd groans.
Another ball into row 3.
Garvin, you shouldn't have given that one. Austin wasn't quite ready for it. She was on the move. Wrong pass to give. Vixens. Tight on the defence, but Thunderbirds run right
Mannix
through it.
Read it as she came through back on court from the contest with Austin.
Mannix short delivery, Mundy. And again, Austin, wrong feed into Garbin.
Yeah, beautiful footwork from Sterling Humphrey. Came around Garbin really cleanly. She's got Inspector Gadget arms as well.
Maloney calling her people, head left. They're clobbering that sideline, push them left. Opening Mannix up for a potential intercept. She doesn't get it. Aitken George too strong. And there's the timeout. It has been called with 3 minutes on the clock. Vixens wanting 90 seconds to chat about the rest of the tactics they can use now that the scores have drawn level and the T-Birds have come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, they went on a 5-1 run and then things have slowly become a little fractured in their attack end. Just on that last feed into the circle, there's no clarity there. So they're forcing balls in there that they probably don't need to, just need to reset and reoffer around the outside of the circle. Shamira Sterling, though, is reading anything that's coming within about 10 kilometres of her.
Michael Hutchinson, what would you put down to that lack of clarity in the Vixens' hold?
Oh, it's probably a little bit of a timing issue. Some of the holds from Garbin have probably been a little bit... She's probably still been on the move a little bit, hasn't been, solid and upright. But you've got to move the ball quick against a team like the Thunderbirds, probably like we saw with the Giants against the Fever, just to get the defender's head shaking, because the response and reaction times from athletes, particularly those the likes of Sterling Humphreys and Williams, is second to none, and they can certainly take their feet with them as well. They're not these types of athletes who run through bodies or take wrong lines to balls. They're incredibly clean. Rob Ryder's spent a lot of time with the Jamaican side over the last few years as well, and certainly changed the way that they actually approach defence. So it's certainly paid off for the Thunderbirds so far.
Well, a lot of Jamaican talent coming to the world's best netball league in the SSN, which kicks off on the 13th of April. Vixens taking on the Mavericks in round 1. Can't wait for that derby. Vixens got both goalers working high in the circle. Mundy, not a lot of options. Looks for Austin. She's lining up for the super shot with her toes outside of that white line.
It's very close.
Millimetres in it, but it's going to count. If she got it in, she doesn't. Uncharacteristic miss, but a bit of a YOLO ball from the T-Birds down the court. They hold possession on stretch. And Aitken George holds perfectly, keeps Rudy Ellis out of that contest for 1.
Thunderbirds now with the lead for the first time since the opening minutes. And a footwork call from Taylor Williams.
It's a costly give with 2 minutes on the clock. You never want to see a footwork penalty, especially so quickly off a centre pass, but she's got arms over pressure here. Can she help her defenders, Williams? Austin lining up for two. There we go. Vixens, two-pointer and the centre pass. It's Eddie calling for a high ball at the transverse. Garbutt not sure where to look. Sherian with hands all over it.
Second too late.
Mundy.
Again, yeah, too stationary from Kira Austin. I think she needed to either have started her ascent to that position from a little bit further back, but as I said, the reaction times from Williams and Sterling Humphreys is pretty impressive.
Austin in her first for the day. Awesome combination with Aiken George, both goalers communicating on their setup. T-Birds, not a lot of options through the mid. Merciful ball to Sherian. Aiken George tries to keep it in with 52 on the clock, but the ball spills out into Selkirk Arena. Selkirk Stadium fans getting their hands on it. Vixens hugging the sideline. Mannix wants a middle channel ball. Mundy electric on the lead. Austin again licks the bowl of the two-pointer. T-Birds, 22 seconds remaining. Scores a level. They could use one here. The bench so vocal, counting down the seconds. Austin under pressure. Umpire's going to hold time. 6.5 on the clock. They've got every opportunity.
I think Kate Maloney talked Justin Barnes out of advancing that penalty, to be fair.
And the Thunderbirds can't make good of the opportunity, but they make good of the quarter, drawing the scores level, 10 apiece. Here at the Ballarat Blitz, Vixens, they had the ascendancy. Thunderbirds well and truly in this. Both teams looking super impressive. As we're going to take a quick break at quarter time, plenty more action after this heading into the second term.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the free Get Active Victoria app today.
It's actually going to be flying off the in the bin, which is where that's the post is. Zara, this is our last shot. This is it. It's up to you. Bounce it. That's better.
So much action here at the Ballarat Blitz. Yesterday, Fever beating Vixens 66-62 and the Thunderbirds defeating the Giants. But this match, well, it's well and truly neck and neck, doesn't get closer than 10 apiece at the end of the first quarter. As we check out the highlights so far, Michael Hutchinson, you're on special comms today. What were you liking out of the first term?
First 5 or 6 minutes, I think, was pretty nice. The remainder of that quarter was quite defensive heavy. It was probably reflected in, one, the scoreline 10 apiece and the accuracy as well. Thunderbirds 10 from 13 in that first quarter, Vixens 9 from 12. So certainly some probably really clear errors that the both teams have the opportunity to rectify for the last 3 quarters.
Plenty of things to like and so much to like here out at Ballarat. Fans getting well and truly into this match, checking out the new Vixens merch, the 2024 range, available at the stadium, Selkirk Stadium, and online at shop.melbournevixens.com.au. If you want to get your hands on things ahead of next week's Teen Girls Cup, SSN's pre-season tournament, which is taking place in Sydney. So maybe pop your Vixens scarf and beanie on when you watch every game live on Foxtel and KO. I know the Vixens jumpers, all the T-shirts, they are selling quickly because we have just a bumper weekend. Just about 5,500 people going through the doors of Selkirk Stadium. Awesome news for netball in regional Victoria as well. Yeah, look, they're hungry for it, and I think that probably also speaks to some of the new clubs that have joined the Victorian Netball League on a new licence, which has been really exciting as well, with Bendigo Strikers, Western Warriors and Gippsland Stars. To have, matches and a standard this league, Super Netball International as well, be able to reach regional Victoria is quite incredible, and the fans certainly get around it and turn up. 90% capacity for the venue across both days. I think you'd call that an overwhelming success. I think you would, and the standard of netball has been very much like that too. Let's see what standard we see in the next 3 quarters. With the second quarter underway, Vixen centre pass. They lost their first centre pass of the day. They're keen to convert this one. Mannix to Maloney. Maloney finding Austin on extension. And the quick goaler-to-goaler combination. They've practiced this before. Garvin will reward.
I think Sophie Casey's
in the centre. Aitken George, she's a solid option for them, consistent. She's trying to offer something.
Lauren Fruit back on at goal attack where she started the match.
Both teams holding their first centre pass. Austin, she's used Mundy, doing so much work to keep the ball in play. She wanted that deep second phase, and the work will be rewarded. Thunderbirds have one of the best backlines in the country, you'd say. How do you see the defensive lineup of the Thunderbirds holding up against all the other teams of the SSN this year?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think Matilda Garrett has come in leaps and bounds over the last 12 months and certainly rewarded with a call-up to the Australian Diamond squad ahead of the Netball World Cup, and then to debut the end of last year as well. And then to think that you've got Latanya Williams, Shamira Sterling-Humphrey, they're the envy of the competition, I think, on that front, and will certainly push for a top 4 position despite losing the services of Eleanor Cardwell to the Mavericks.
Tilly Garrett also being a regional Victorian athlete, getting the call-up in that South Africa Test Series. Is an awesome ball from Austin to Mundy. Love it when Mundy hits that pocket, which she's doing quite easily.
Speed to burn, just like her mum, Shelley O'Donnell, did.
There's Vixen's bingo. If Shelley doesn't get a mention whilst Hannah's on court, we're not doing our jobs properly.
Yeah, Shelley owes me $50. I think the thing for myself is, having grown up watching that era, so to see the next generation come through, Jada Delaney, Jackie Delaney's daughter as well, I think Lightning training partner this year as well. So to see the success, of those diamonds that you grew up watching, to have their daughters out on court is quite incredible.
Austin getting battered at the top of the ring by the Thunderbirds defenders. Mundy, she needs an option.
Oh.
And it's just too late.
An offensive contact on Sophie Garvin. Just like Beckford in the earlier game.
Aitken George doing well to fight for her positioning. Rudy Ellis doing everything to disrupt that hold. Such a strong hold, but Aitken George, it's not her first rodeo. She knows how to combat some physical pressure. T-Birds having to combat a few different Vixens going for the fly. Maddox getting her hands in just in the nick of time. I love that. Almost like a
no regard for distance.
She got in before the step in, but I love the two hands vertically up, much like a young netballer just learning their way via net, set, go. Austin out of the ring. Again, trying to fire into Garvin. This is the third time that connection hasn't worked as Austin was hoping. How's the elevation from Sterling?
Superb from Sterling. Just kept her feet in play.
The result won't go the way of the Thunderbirds, though. Vixens winning the ball back and winning that goal. T-Birds, not a lot of option. Plays a little frazzled. Ellis tries to hunt again on Aitken George.
I think Aitken wanted to go for a layup there. Disappointed she couldn't do it.
And the timing of the pass from Froome, masterful over the head of Mannix. Couldn't get the eyes up in time. Mundy draws too wide. Re-offering at the line. Keep our eyes on the delivery this time. Austin, Garvin now. Faking to Austin, trying to ward off those defenders, but the play works out perfectly for the Vixens. 1 goal down.
5 from 5 this quarter for Sophie Garvin. Austin yet to put up a shot. Aitken George, 6 from 7.
Never in doubt. Thunderbirds extending their lead 2 goals. 5 minutes into the second term. Mundy, strong shoulder pass. Austin lucky that pass somewhat worked.
The response from Sterling Humphrey, that's the reaction time we talk about. She was down and out and got up with the ability to deflect and make Vixens take the throw in.
Just a dribbler. Gets Garvin close to the post. She's never in doubt from that mid-range. Chalks one back for the Vixens. Maloney gets a tip to the centre pass. Thunderbirds down the guts. Rudy Ellis, another tip to her name. Fantastic to disrupt the flow of play. Aitken George too good. The back line in Kate Eddy taking the centre pass for the Vixens, and
hand on it, I think, from Casey. The Vixens throw in and quickly taken from Austin.
Crowd pretty stoked that the Vixens can hold that ball. Thunderbirds setting up on the right-hand side of the court, opening up the left channel for awesome play in Sherian heading to post.
Sterling Humphrey, she had a look.
Keeps her eyes up. She doesn't want to sacrifice too much space at the post. Uncomfortable. Both players being taken down. The floor
Just
maps will be called.
Little afternoon hug.
Hey, we do love a bit of love within the SSN. If you want to give your players a bit of love at the Fan Day, Fed Square, Thursday, 4th of April. Give your players some love and a photo, autographs, all of the good things on offer. Looks like Sterling still not happy with the floor. The good folk of Ballarat and Selkirk Stadium doing their best.
It's Austin's first goal for the quarter, and we're halfway through. And already the scoring rate is up. 9-8 this second quarter.
Thunderbirds congested at the transverse. Mannix has a decent crack at it, ends up on the T-Birds bench. Trying to get Aitken George isolated at the post. And that's the feed. What an excellent ball and work rate from everyone in the T-Birds attacking lineup. Mundy hesitates, offers pocket. Vixens don't want to use it. Maloney on the other side. She's got options back. Sucking Sterling, Humphrey. And that's clever from Austin.
Yeah, saw the space. And the timing was good from Maloney, who I'm still getting used to recognising with a bun.
It's a new look hairstyle. I had to look twice.
Throw me off.
But I guess it's somewhat of a new look Vixens mid-court as well.
It's time for change.
T-Birds.
Oh. Sherian and Orr, just miscommunication there. The guide was for Sherian to drive into the pocket. Didn't eventuate.
Or a youngster out of the South Australian pathway. She'll learn from that one. As another youngster, Hannah Mundy, has the ball. She's stuck awfully close.
Oh, Garrett. Read it early, read it well. Got one hand up and followed it through. I really enjoy her vision through court as well.
Austin through the middle of the court. Pokes out of the circle. And an easy give to her compatriot in Aiken George. Thunderbirds happy to have a 2-goal buffer now. Vixen centre pass. 5:30 on the clock, so 30 seconds away from our power 5 and getting those 2-point shots up beyond the white semicircle. T-Birds double teaming, triple teaming Austin. Ellis has a go at it. Ball spills out of play. Aitken George doing a lot of work to keep M. Mannix on the other side of the post, up nice and high. That is the siren for the power 5. Let's see what the T-Birds want. They want Aitken George at the post. It's a secure shot. She's consistent from this distance. 4:37 now for the Vixens to claw back their 2-goal deficit. Mundy needs options. Eddie's the backline option that helps. Austin lining up for 2.
Oh, the timing from Sterling Humphrey, impeccable.
How good's that rejection? Something for your stat sheet, Michael. Sterling's pretty excited with that. A lot of energy under the shot. But it's a good shot. A super shot, which scores level. Vixens and Thunderbirds, 22 apiece. Both Vixens defenders in front of Aiken George, swatting that ball away. Thunderbirds a chance to reset. Austin out of the circle. Aitken 1 foot out of the circle. Ellis, she'll wrestle for that one.
That was off from Austin. I think she got maybe a little tip on the hand.
Vixens, an opportunity to take the lead with a super shot. That's exactly what they want.
Oh.
Garvin trying to dish it to Austin, but the Thunderbirds read that way too easily.
Yeah, Garrett read it, and Austin had dummied back to the post. Austin and Garvin having a chat in back play as well, just sorting themselves out.
Or uses the wider triangle. Sherian indicates she wants a cycle. Neither mid-quarter taking the hot channel or takes the space, but Austin, she wants something, has to look to Aiken George. Lining up for 2.
Austin No goal contact on Romelda Aiken-George. She can't believe it.
Vixens fans are very excited with that call. 2 minutes 30 to go in the second. Opportunity to snag a lead. Mundy, awesome role, taking that middle positioning. She is working like a four-wheel drive out there, just trucking through all spaces.
She is wheeling and dealing at the minute. And they don't want to shoot over Shamira Sterling-Humphrey, understandably, but Austin sinks her second super shot and Vixens take the lead.
Or looks wide, wants depth on her lead, but can't get past Maloney. Maloney hemming her in, top of the circle. Sherian, the only mid-quarter free at the moment. Aiken-George, she's standing solo. Defenders don't want to have a crack. They say more bounty in taking on Austin. And Manic's unlucky. T-Birds winding down the clock, even though they're behind. Aiken-George does her best to keep it in. And that's a solid contribution.
Look, the ball's not out until the umpire says, so I think the Vixens sort of expected the call.
Austin, away from home. Garvin, double teamed. Austin has to use the two-handed push to her teammate to say, nah, change up the pace. 1 minute to go. And Garvin sinks it. Vixen stretching the lead. 2 goals now. Thunderbirds. They need to score off this centre. High ball to Austin.
Great positioning from Alice. Out in front, the ball wasn't deep enough for Aiken-George.
Just an instinctive ball to Aiken-George, but when the positioning is not on, you can't disrespect the Vixens defenders like that, but T-Birds defenders.
Yeah, Garrett just responds, telegraphing some plays through court, the Vixens. And Aiken wants to back herself for a super shot.
Thunderbirds shooting somewhat off in this last 5 minutes. Vixens too far on extension. 5 seconds to go. Aiken-George with the layup. Points are good. And there's the siren. Vixens holding on to 1 goal lead heading into halftime over the Thunderbirds. They've been in the lead most of this match and they're just clawing on. As we check out some highlights from the first half, Michael Hutchinson, some impressive plays from both teams.
Again, there was a period of, I think, for both sides in getting into a rhythm, and then again at the end of that Power 5 period, just a little bit of chaos that they will want to tidy up. A bit of hesitancy from the Vixens as well to shoot those super shots, particularly on the back of Sterling Humphrey's block earlier. So need to work out some systems and some setups to be able to free themselves and block Shamira out. Where's the other goaler in that circle to be able to stand in front so she actually doesn't have the ability to, 1, get her distance and then 2, make a leap at that shot. So some little workings on. They're going to have a bit of a chat at halftime and sort each other out before they come back to take to the court for the second half.
Both teams taking a moment to head to the rooms. And we're going to take a moment to have a break. We're joining all of this action is here from the Ballarat Blitz ahead of the Suncorp Super Netball season kicking off Saturday 13th of April. So if you're a Vixens fan and you're keen for the home matches, they are on sale. Head to vixens.com.au or Ticketek to book.
The Backstoppers have hit the road.
We're in Ballarat today to visit some of the region's best local gems thanks to the City of Ballarat.
First stop, Sovereign Hill.
Let's
go!
Sovereign Hill is a living museum that tells the story of Ballarat's history as a gold rush town. This is no ordinary museum though. You can dress up as a gold rush character from the Victorian era at the 1850s photography studio.
I was dressed up with my little
Oh, you were too, yeah.
We had a family one.
You have to try the iconic raspberry drops handcrafted at the sweet shop. You can even experience panning for gold on the diggings.
Alrighty, so I think we've worked up a bit of an appetite.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Should we head into town? Alrighty, we're all fueled up. We've had our lunch at Higher Society. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Very delicious. Now we're here at the Wildlife Park in Ballarat to check out some animals. The park is home to everything from kangaroos, koalas, wombats and emus to snakes, crocs, frogs and lizards.
The park was founded on a passion for conservation. The presentations and experience here are an amazing way to learn and immerse yourself in the animal world. The park is absolutely beautiful, and you can feel the love and care the staff have for all of the wildlife here.
That's it for us today in Ballarat, but there's so much more to do here.
Thank you so much to the City of Ballarat for letting us explore some of your hotspots and letting us show some of our Vixens fans what your town has to offer.
Well, that one's being very cheeky. Make sure you head to visit ballarat.com.au to start planning your trip today.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the free Get Active Victoria app today.
The Backstoppers have hit the road.
We're in Ballarat today to visit some of the region's best local gems thanks to the City of Ballarat.
First stop, Sovereign Hill.
Let's go!
Sovereign Hill is a living museum that tells the story of Ballarat's history as a gold rush town. This is no ordinary museum though. You can dress up as a gold rush character from the Victorian era at the 1850s photography studio.
I was dressed up with my little
Oh, you were too, yeah.
We had a family one.
You have to try the iconic raspberry drops handcrafted at the sweet shop. You can even experience panning for gold on the diggings.
Alrighty, so I think we've worked up a bit of an appetite.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Should we head into town? Alrighty, we're all fueled up. We've had our lunch at Higher Society. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great.
Very delicious. Now we're here at the Wildlife Park in Ballarat to check out some animals. The park is home to everything from kangaroos, koalas, wombats and emus to snakes, crocs, frogs and lizards.
The park was founded on a passion for conservation. The presentations and experience here are an amazing way to learn and immerse yourself in the animal world. The park is absolutely beautiful, and you can feel the love and care the staff have for all of the wildlife here.
That's it for us today in Ballarat, but there's so much more to do here.
Thank you so much to the City of Ballarat for letting us explore some of your hotspots and letting us show some of our Vixens fans what your town has to offer.
Well, that one's being very cheeky. Make sure you head to visit ballarat.com.au to start planning your trip today.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the free Get Active Victoria app today.
So much here at Ballarat, the Ballarat Blitz Vixens. They've got a 1-goal lead over the T-Birds at the moment, but anything can happen in the SSN. My name's Hannah Kuhar. Joining me today, Michael Hutchinson. Michael, there's so much energy in the stands. I don't know if you popped along to the From the Sidelines coaching and umpiring workshops this morning, but there were 2 sold-out Net Set Go clinics yesterday. There's just so much to enjoy in the region of Ballarat.
Yeah, look, regional Victoria been the home of several really phenomenal, not just Super Netball or previous national leagues before that, but certainly Australian Diamonds as well. And some of them are still back in the game now. I think of Beck Bully and where she's come from as well, from regional Victoria, now coaching the Queensland Firebirds. So I'm not surprised that when the game is able to be brought back regionally through Ballarat or Shepparton or Frankston or Bendigo as well, that the community really get out and support it.
So much love for netball here. And of course, if you want to show your love from home, best way is to head on to melbournevixens.com.au and get your Vixens membership. Don't miss out on joining the hunt in 2024. And whilst you're there, may as well pick up some hot merch. We've got a new 2024 range available at shop.melbournevixens.com.au, and also here at Selkirk Stadium if you want to pop in if it's not already sold out, because the fans are doing their best to raid the stands. As both teams start warming up, Vixens getting their fast feet going and some movement back onto court. Michael, how have you rated their first half performance?
Choppy, I think, is probably for both sides as well. It's been first quarter was quite defensive heavy, that only enabled a 10-0 scoreline at the quarter break. The second quarter a little bit more free flowing, 26-25, so a 16-15 second term. More confidence to shoot some super shots in the second term, particularly from the Vixens. 3 from 4 between Garvin and Austin in that second 15 minutes. So a few little kinks to iron out in this second half, and probably some changes on court as well.
Yeah, speak of changes, I think one of the biggest ones was the withdrawal of Joe Weston for today's match. Not due to injury, just simply some load management. So opening up opportunities for other defenders, and Mannix is having a really hot go at it today. We'll see what 7 the Vixens take to the court in the third quarter. On the T-Bird side of things, you mentioned a bit of a hot and cold start. Any particular areas of improvement perhaps Coach Tanya Obst might have addressed at halftime?
I think she'd be really pleased with the way that they are making the Vixens think defensively. Certainly, how many times did we say Shamira Sterling-Humphries in that first half? Tanya Wilson obviously doing a plethora of work. Matilda Garrett too in that second term as well on Kira Austin. I think they probably need to just fine-tune their probably delivery across the transverse line into the goal third as well. Make that a little bit more clear, a little bit more away from the body as well, and that in turn then gives a little bit more space and confidence to feed into the circle as well. A few balls that probably shouldn't have gone into both goal circles in that second term. That's something that I'm sure that they are looking to tidy up in this second half.
Definitely the connection between Austin and Garvin when you speak of the goaler-to-goaler balls can be tightened up. I think we saw particularly late in that second term a few opportunities go awry due to that lack of combination, but we'll see if the Vixens persist with that combination. No doubt going to be a prevalent part of their attacking lineup, the Garvin-Austin combo in 2024.
Yeah, but they also have to replace Maui Kumwenda as well, who's out with pregnancy. So Emily Andrew and Lily Graham on the bench as well. Got minutes yesterday. So I'm sure that there should be some coming in this second half as well. There's still a decision to be made to really afford that 10th contract to another goaler for the Vixens.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how Simone McInnes chooses to rotate her goalers through this. She's happy to sit Joe Weston out, but will we see some opportunities for the youngster in Emily Andrew, Lily Graham? Zara Walters had a great hit out yesterday, and Gabby Coffey as well, potentially some time.
Yeah, it looks like Gabby Coffey's coming on at goal defence to start this third term.
Michael Hutchinson, you're the president of MU. Have you seen her at that VNL level?
Yeah, look, she had an incredible game. Actually, so did Maggie Karras on Wednesday night against Casey Demons. So I'm hoping that form translates through to the court today. It'd be great for them both at some point to get out and have a good crack at this level.
Great opportunity for Melbourne Lightning to show why they are such a powerful VNL feeder team into these higher performance pathways. Plays back on court. Vixen centre pass, but Thunderbirds might be the ones to get the first goal. But that's not if Em Mannix has her say. Brilliant cough up of the ball. Kate Eddy can't get clean possession, but she'll take the penalty and have a second bite at the cherry. Mundy doing work. Goaling combo again, searching.
Yeah, great positioning from Williams on that ball into the pocket. Looks like Molly Watson has come on at keeper as well for the Thunderbirds, and Lucy Austin starting at goal shooter. Romelda Aiken having a seat on the bench.
Lauren Frew taking the goal attack bib for the Thunderbirds. And Mannix having a hunt, leaving Austin solo at the post. And the Thunderbirds saw that coming. They won't hesitate to feed that in if Em Mannix is out having a crack. Thunderbirds firing it off deep into the pocket. Austin trying to shrug off Em Mannix with the sweep. They'll instead look to Frew.
Frew, just her second goal from the game, 2 from the 3 at 67%.
Mundy searching for Austin in the pocket. 1-2-1. And that's a solid combination from the Vixens.
Yeah, interested to see the switch too, with Austin sitting back at goal shooter and seeing whether that was in response to the influence of Shamira Sterling-Humphrey, who is now on the bench. But interested to see if the timing shifts, if some of the leads shift, the angles that come out of that circle from Austin.
Austin holding so strongly under the post. She'll be used. Thunderbirds holding on to that 1-goal lead.
Yeah, 3-1 start to the quarter for the Thunderbirds.
Vixens. Long ball from Mundy, but perhaps Austin wasn't ready for it or hands weren't tough enough to pull it in. Mundy giving away the contact call. Horges looking for something. She'll offer at the top. Mannix thinks about it. Sinks back onto her direct opponent. And Frew lining up from the super shot zone. Of course, not power 5, so a 2-pointer wouldn't count anyway. Eddie with the pickup. Maloney looking deep. Mundy.
Oh, hesitates on the almost 3 seconds, and they cough it up anyway. Great pressure from the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds doing a great job to make life harder for the Vixens mid-court. There are no clear-cut options, no holds that say, you must give me the ball.
Yeah, and just that hesitancy too on the feed. When it's on, it's on. It's just got to go. Got to release it. Good position from Mannix.
Austin trying to set up the goal line throw-in, setting screens. She creates opportunity from Frew. And Thunderbirds stretching their lead out to 2 goals now, plus the centre pass. But the call, not behind the line, I believe. Frew taking her time. Vixens, they're quick. They want this goal. Take the opportunity they've been given. Mundy, so good off 1 foot. Not only keeps it in, but gets it to Austin, who is at the top of the circle. Such hot real estate. Goaler-to-goaler connection working on that occasion. Vixens, they make good, and they've got a centre pass. Great opportunity to claw it back. Mundy using muscle, hesitates on the feed. Austin demands it out wide, and Austin looks good. Emily Andrew on the sideline, just wanting some opportunity. She'll get it now. And Horges, how easy is that ball? Potentially the audition for Mwenda's goaler position. We might see that in this 3rd quarter.
Great hands from Horges. Sophie Garvin puts her hands in her head, and good hands from Mannix. But Austin.
Stuff for the Mannix highlight reel there. 2 hands, deflection. So much control, but albeit not working out. The timeout's called by the Vixens. They'll take 90 seconds to regroup. 2-goal deficit.
Well, I'm not surprised they've scored just 3 goals in 5.5 minutes. It's kind of reminiscent of how the end of the first quarter kind of played out. The timing is off. Kate Maloney addressing the troops off camera. A little bit more confidence in the Thunderbirds camp. Hannah Petty smiles on the bench as well, not taking part in this weekend.
A few injury woes for Hannah Petty, but no doubt ready to come back into the side shortly. Of course, this year the Thunderbirds actually beat the Vixens in round 5. Sorry, last year. It is 2024 now. Thunderbirds, they got the first win of the season against the Vixens, 61-50 in round 5, but Vixens swung the next win, round 10, 60-39. So both teams very much a seesawing affair. Vixens finishing 4th in 2023, losing that semi-final to Fever. How do you rate their premiership hopes this year, Michael?
Vixens?
Yes.
I've got them in the 4. I'll tell you my list at the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm undecided. There's probably 3 that I've got down pat, and then there's, I think, 4 spots up for grabs.
Well, you've got a quarter and a half to finalise that top order. Can't wait to hear about yours If you're watching from home, chuck it in the comments section. It's a good question, who will finish, and Vixens, they've got the answer here, turning the ball over. Kate Eddy calling for a stack, get all of those mid-quarters in line so they can create a left and right option, exactly what they do. But Eddy herself coughing up the penalty. Thunderbirds quick to respond. They want the width. And Austin takes the front sweep.
Touch from Mannix.
Mannix
Austin
coming alive here. Austin under the post. She'll go well from here. And Mannix, very impressive with her defensive output.
has been. Would like some more hands to ball, I would suspect. The Thunderbirds 7-3 start to this third quarter.
Awesome ball from Mundy to get Austin to the post. She saw that she had space, really wanted to feed it there. As the call's made for the mop, some slippage in the middle channel. Vixens happy to have a chat. Maloney rallying the troops down back. Kate Eddy already doing the footwork to contain Horges, which she does off this first centre pass. Huge arms over pressure. Horges sneaking through the gaps. Austin was by herself, but it's all right. Frew will convert anyway. Thunderbirds 3-goal lead halfway through the third. Mundy, middle channel, uses the fake. She wants Andrea out of the circle. Both goalers out of the circle. And that's a nice goal from Austin. Takes a deep breath. Needs that settler. And again, it must be that composure, pulling in an intercept. Kira Austin, is there anything she can't do?
She's good for one a game. Has to be said, there's nothing better than, well, not that, nothing better than a goal attack who has great defensive nous.
Well, she'll be letting everyone know about it. Goal attack getting an intercept stat. Meanwhile, Mundy, she tried to find Eddy in the swing, but didn't work. Thunderbirds, patient. Looking around, triangles. Goalers outside of the circle. Through, awesome ball to Austin, but she couldn't take her on 2 feet. And sneaky from Frew to go goaler to goaler off a baseline.
Yeah, that's good connection from the Thunderbirds attack end. A lot of height too between Frew and Austin.
Mundy, strong take, strong drive. Andrew out of the circle. Goes wide, takes the drive behind the goal line, but it's in vain. Vixens cough it up. Such depth from the Thunderbirds defenders. Look at all of these leads through the middle of the court. Vixens defence just on the back foot. Mannix on the jog. Austin also on the jog. Austin, very confident. 4-goal extension of the lead. And it's now the Geelong youngster Zara Walters coming onto court. She takes the wing attack bib. Mundy's off, putting the centre bib on now. So some broader changes from the Vixens.
Yeah, it's the Thunderbirds score their 11th for the term. 11-5, the quarter break. And that's why they lead by 5.
Walters, in her first play, a bit nervous, tries to connect with Maloney, but too far. And there's the buzzer. Power 5. Will Austin change her positioning now? She's holding at the top of the circle. Does she want a super shot? Maybe Frew does. She's just 1 foot inside the circle. The combination with Mannix out of play. It's secure. It's a 1-pointer. Thunderbirds stretching the lead. 6 goals now. Less than 5 to go. Austin, she's facing a 2-on-1 through, solo on the baseline. Both goalers starting together. Austin setting up the back space. Through, takes the front. But how about the hands? Vixens defence taking no time to get the ball down the court. Maloney, patient. Can she find Andrews, who's at the top? Not quite, but Austin's okay to take the shot instead. Of course she is, because she sinks it. And that's the timeout called by the Thunderbirds. They'd want to stilt the flow of play there. 2-pointer, very handy.
Yeah, it's probably an opportune time for the Vixens also to have a bit of a discussion. I find that their defensive setup is kind of a retreating defence rather than a swarming defence. They're kind of sitting back a little bit too early, I think, from where they should probably initially be setting up. But the Thunderbirds at the minute are winning ball all across the court and really taking their time in transition through the middle. They're playing with a little bit more space and a little bit more freedom than the Vixens at the minute, and it's certainly showing on the scoreboard.
And the defence really starts not at goalkeeper, not at goal defence, but so much higher up the court. And I think that's quite a critical change between the T-Birds and the Vixens. Vixens wing attacks and goal attacks, happy to, well, with the exception of the awesome Austin intercept. I think after that point, the attackers from the Vixens just taking the foot off the pedal and putting all the work on their defensive line. But by the time it's already gotten to the T-Birds attackers, it's kind of too late.
Oh, absolutely. And as I said, very patient in their transition. Lauren Frew, I think, is doing a power of work out the front as well to keep Gabby Coffey and Kate Eddy interested. And a ball in one-on-one to Lucy Austin is very hard to stop.
Well, let's see if the Vixens can do anything to stop that ball. Maloney takes the ball wide. Walters also set up wide. Vixens all in the same spot. Austin has to backpedal. 2 goalers out of the ring now. Andrew trying to hold strongly. Take the positioning at the post, but she won't need it because her hands aren't ready to catch that ball. T-Birds bulleting down the court. Such a strong take on the wing. Through. Doesn't want to shoot. She'll rework it. Head to post. Now within one point territory and safe and secure option via Austin.
Yeah, and the centre pass to follow as well. So right choice just to take the pressure valve off and score 1 goal.
Awesome ball from Hodges, connecting with Frew at the base.
Yeah, and 5 from 5 this quarter from Frew as well. She's found her range.
Maloney used in the pocket. She fakes to Andrew under pressure. Looks to the back line. Andrew splitting the middle. Who's going to be the goaler to offer a clear option? Kira Austin working her way to the 2-point zone. Bang! Austin draws it to a 4-goal margin. Can't tell if there was some contact there or just a clunky take, but Vixens are okay. They claw it back via Mannix. Eddy to Maloney. All players clogging the left channel, now to the middle. Walters. Andrew to the top. Maloney can't find an option. Ends up with Andrew. Super shot's no good. Austin again. Working from post out for a 2-pointer. Maloney unhappy about the chopped hands. Andrew solo deceivingly. It's Thunderbirds instead, and now seesaw back to Vixens and a slippery moment in the middle.
Oh.
What a calamitous 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was great from
This has been a wacky little passage.
Yeah.
Every ball a turnover.
Watson, great hands and good backup in the first instance. And then the turnover back and it's the slide in the middle from Gabby Coffey. Seems to be okay. That's a big ball in to Frew.
Frew missing the 1-pointer. Austin strong under the post. 1 minute on the clock. Vixens under pressure to narrow this 5-goal deficit. Walters looks back, gets it again, has to look back again. Time winding down for the Vixens. 45 now.
Rodden again, she's out hunting.
How strong is that? Thunderbirds players on the bench, all on their feet in support. Andrews solo under the post. A good choice to flick it out to Austin. She's good with the super shot. 30 seconds remaining. Thunderbirds searching for options through the mid. Both mid-quarters offering similar leads. Austin working the feet. Mannix, arms everywhere. Arms are too convincing for Austin. There's a hesitation into the feed. 5 to go. 3, 2. Shots no good. Mannix secure. And Mannix will stifle the Thunderbirds' opportunity to score. And we finish the third quarter with the Thunderbirds heading into the fourth 3-goal lead, 40-37 here at the Ballarat Blitz. One final quarter of the weekend. Which way will it go? Will the Vixens claw things back or the Thunderbirds, they've got the lead, they're going to hold on? You'll just have to wait and see. Stick around, quick ad break, and then the final term of this matchup, Vixens and Thunderbirds. Vixens down by 3.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the free Get Active Victoria app today.
So much to like at the Ballarat Blitz. I don't want this weekend to end, but alas, in 15 minutes' time, we will know who the winner is out of Vixens Thunderbirds. Vixens currently down by 3 goals, but plenty of talent left on the bench ahead of the Suncorp Super Netball season kicking off Saturday the 13th of April. If you're keen to head to the Vixens games, why don't you grab yourself a membership, melbournevixens.com.au, to join the hunt in 2024. Plus plenty of tickets for home games on sale now. So melbournevixens.com.au, the place to go, or Ticketek to grab those tickets. Michael Hutchinson, we've seen quite a powerful display from both teams, albeit seesawing. What are you expecting to see in this final term?
Well, on the back of the first 3 quarters, it's probably a little bit too difficult to say. I think there's been so many shifts in this game. From an attacking point of view, I think the Vixens have been pretty disappointing. Austin put up 10 goals in that quarter out of the Vixens 11, including 3 super shots. So between Emily Andrew and Sophie Garvin, there was only 1 goal scored between them, whereas there was far different spread between Austin and Frew, and had the luxury of having Romelda Aiken-George on the bench for the entire quarter, and also get out Sophie Casey, Tyler Orr, Molly Watson as well. So it feels like the Vixens are probably trailing by a little bit more than what they are, I think, given the way in which the game has panned out so far.
Aiken-George, as you mentioned, sitting on the pine for the third quarter, but she's just taken her T-shirt off. The goal shooter bib is on. Will we see her take the starting 7? We'll find out. Of course, so much action all throughout the weekend. The Vixens played yesterday, as did the Thunderbirds. So both teams happy to finish on a win. What do you think finishing on a win ahead of the Team Girls Cup next weekend is going to do for team morale over the week?
It'll be significant given the way in which an event like this is managed, where you are getting as many minutes as possible across as many players. I think the interesting thing coming into this final 15, though, is the fact that the Thunderbirds put on a 14-6 final term against the Giants yesterday to win, and Fever jumped over the Vixens 13-18 in that final term. So it's not looking good for the Vixens if that's the way that this final term is going to pan out, but it's all ahead of them in this last 15 minutes.
Well, let's see what the Vixens do with this opportunity. They did have some wins when they headed to Auckland last month for some pre-season scratchies against the Stars and the Northern Mystics. So let's hope for the Vixens fans in the house, the Vixens can put on a fourth quarter demolition, but it's the Thunderbirds with the first centre pass. Aiken-George is back on court, and she'll waste no time to take this first shot. Mannix out of play.
Georgie Horges in a goal attack. That'll please Kath Cox.
A lot of fans of Georgie Horges at goal attack. Do you think we'll see her playing that position more frequently this year?
Maybe not more frequently. I think there'll be a management of, Lucy Austin as well, who is usually at goal shooter, but, will, I'm sure, spend some time at goal attack as well. The fact that they've got, 4 athletes that can play goals is certainly advantageous, particularly when you've only got, a contracted or a match day 10.
And awesome rebound. Oh, no. Almost wasted, but Thunderbirds hold on. So much work being done by Sterling at the post, and now Aiken-George at the other post. And the substitution is called due to injury time. Have we got a stray ankle perhaps, Michael?
Yeah, Williams taking a seat on the bench, and Orr coming back on at centre.
We'll keep an eye on that injury for you. Williams not looking too stressed at this stage, just having a chat. Vixens trying to make something of it. Andrew, awesome hold at the post. Such a hard matchup for the youngster against Sterling. Or with the centre. Aiken-George outside of the circle, no goalers near the post. George receives at the top, wants Sherian wide. Wants to work it closer to the post. Horges goaler to goaler.
Yeah, and Kate Eddy shifting back into goal defence, and Maloney to wing defence as well. So Mundy running the middle at centre.
Walter, great take. The call from the Vixen sideline, take the shot. Love that we can hear Maloney's voice, even though we're on the opposite side of the stadium. Fantastic support.
I think you'd probably be able to hear it underwater.
Vixens happy to make an impact on the scoreboard. Solid hands from Maloney. Or and that's secure via Aiken-George. Thunderbirds being so patient in their delivery to Aiken-George, not feeling... Oh, no.
Yeah, patient in their delivery to Aiken George, and her not playing in that third quarter, it does offer a different setup in their attack end with Austin back there. And I guess when you look at so many athletes, Horges and Frew as well, they are all quite different as individuals, but it just affords so many options when you pair them differently.
You just see how different teams utilise that tall goaler, and West Coast Fever this weekend have been very quick to feed it in no matter where they are, transverse line or not, but Thunderbirds taking a different approach as the Vixens call a timeout. 90 seconds of high fives and chat ahead. What do you think Simone McInnes, the coach, is going to be talking about in this timeout?
I think she's probably called the timeout so she stops pulling her hair out on the sidelines. It's a 7-2 start to the final term, and it's a very un-Vixens-like display for me today. Certainly a lack of connection in the attack end. They're being unable to find that space in the circle, particularly on the likes of Shamira Sterling-Humphrey, and they haven't got a plan B to enact. They're not changing it up enough, I don't think, in that attack end. They're still persisting with their plan A, and it's coming undone for them. At the other end, they're still not able to get enough ball. There was a little bit in that first half, and they've just got no answer at the minute to the patience and the timing of the Thunderbirds attack end.
Of course, this is Coach Simone's 12th season at the Vixens, which is one of the longer tenures at the Vixens. What do you think she can do to help her girls just shake things up and keep it fresh, potentially causing an upset, given that they're 8 goals behind?
Oh gosh, I mean, it starts with the basics really. One is, treasuring the possession that is your own. You get 50% of the ball in netball, so I think scoring off your own is the first port of call. And then looking for those small wins. If your defensive structure isn't working, then you've got to have a think about it. You've got to make a change. And we see Kate Eddy's come from the court. Mannix has moved out to, or come back on at goal defence, and Rudy Ellis on at goalkeeper, who, got plenty of hand to ball in that first half. So, score off your own, and then see what you can come up with.
Score off their own is exactly what the Vixens do. 7 goals down now, 10 to go, and how's the call from Aitken George? She saw the space and she's taken it.
She was almost home alone.
When you're given that much space, I'm going to call it home alone. Rudy Ellis getting a lot of ball early when she was on, this time around needing to tighten up. The Vixens making good of their centre pass.
It was a better goaler-to-goaler connection in there. I think that's probably been a little bit lacking today between Garvin and Austin. Just out there to protect each other in the space.
Or give and go involving Aitken George. Horges happy to offload. And another one goes under the name of Aitken George.
Oh, get the ball back, says Kate Wright. Probably a smart thing to do for the game to continue.
5 minutes down, 10 to go. Vixens tempting via Austin, and how's the take? Oh, Sterling Humphrey unlucky, because that was a ferocious attack on the ball. A real 50-50 one. I want to give her credit for it.
It was pretty 50-50, wasn't it?
But she'll keep fighting. She's the captain.
Again, just too stationary on that take. That space hasn't been protected enough for them to move off.
Sterling Humphrey nodding her head. She's happy with that effort. No doubt going to turn some ball shortly. Sherian not taking the penalty where it had been set in the centre third. Horges trying to do some work out the front. Body up with Aitken George. Traditional split, a short goaler out the front, tall one out the back. And that setup works perfectly. Horges getting a one-pointer. Vixens using Mannix deep. Maloney. Austin having to hang out in the middle third. Every goaler outside the ring, all the mid-quarters, same space. Vixens I've got a sense of desperation. Only 8 minutes 40 to claw this back.
Oh, Garrett. And the backup from Sterling Humphrey.
Brilliant work from Garrett out the back. She stays involved in the play. How good is that for some team defence?
Just that instinct between the two. I mean, they've spent 3 or 4 years together now. But it's the following through as well, which I think has been probably lacking from the Vixens as well. And it's the commitment onto the ball that has certainly probably been one of the big differences between the Thunderbirds and Vixens today.
And Mannix heading out of the circle because she reckons she has a hunt at Horges. The ball will just go back to Aitken George,
who's come onto the court and scored 10 from 10 in this last quarter alone.
She's only been on court for about 7 minutes, so quite impressive. Such a consistent option for the T-Birds. Austin doesn't want to shoot, looks back to Mundy. Mundy has to fake it, finds Austin in almost the same spot. She should have shot it before, she's all in the clear. The work of Horges, drawing a contact, sweeping around. 2 options there. Thunderbirds spoilt for choice when you've got left and right pretty free.
It's the speed that Horges now can, she's got a bit more space to run into, and in that goal attack position, with someone like Frew who's a little bit taller and a little bit more deliberate in her movement, Horges can go in and she just pulled Rudy Ellis to the other direction.
Meanwhile, Austin can't connect again with Garvin. That connection is usually so strong, but today it's been costly. Or Aitken out of the circle. A nervous feed, but it's to the correct side of the body, so they'll keep possession. Thunderbirds not in doubt under the post. Well, we're now an 11-point margin. Thunderbirds ploughing ahead. Their centre pass, Garrett, backline used. Aitken George needs to roll closer to the post, but 3 seconds was the call. She didn't roll back soon enough. Aitken George to inspire her teammates. They hold on too long. Mundy through the middle, getting bashed around. Well done, Hannah's the call from the sideline. They like her tenacity, and why wouldn't you? Walters, Mundy.
Tried to thread the needle and shouldn't have is probably the most accurate way to describe that passage.
Aitken George calling for the play to slow down, use some other options, and Horges is the option they want in this play.
Nothing but net for Georgie Horges. Biggest margin of the match now at 12.
Coach Simone McInnes wanting some new combinations, and we see who's that? Kate Eddy coming back into wing defence. M. Mannix going off in goal defence. So a fresh back line, new wing GD. What are we reading into that, Michael?
Well, probably a little bit of reluctance to make a change in the attack end and wants more ball from the defence end. So this is another, combination for the Vixens, but it's also a different defensive line to try and combat it. So let's see what they can come up with.
We're heading into the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, so that super shot has been activated. 2 points up for grabs if someone shoots just like that shot just there. Lucy Austin substituting on into the goal shooter bib in that play. Giving Aitken George some more time on the sideline. She had an impactful 10 minutes in the final term.
She's done her job today.
Can rest easy on the flight home, knowing she's done a great job, but the connection between the Thunderbirds sees the ball spill over the goal line. Ellis wants impact. Defenders doing exactly what Coach Simone would want, getting more piercing depth, but Maloney still has to be used in a centre very, very high, offering a short option again. Walters Finds the top position. And there's a super shot. That's going to help claw the goal margin back.
It has, and centre pass to follow as well. And they want another super shot. There's the protection on the shot. Doesn't matter. Margin halved. Was 12 just moments ago. Now it's 6.
That's the excitement of the SSN bringing in this super shot. Just adds such a new dynamic to the game. We've got a real big 3 minutes at our hands, but Austin will do her best to make sure that the Vixens don't get a look back in. Kate Eddy desperate to get the ball back to Maloney for the centre pass. Austin wide, Garvin. She's in range. My, oh my, Michael Hutchinson, we have a match on our hands. You can never discount the Melbourne Vixens from coming back, and in front of a home crowd, that's exactly what they're doing. Austin calls for it wide. They'll use the swing instead. Finds the pop around, doesn't trust herself, and the Vixens, they'll make her pay.
It's not the best passage of play from the Thunderbirds today.
And again, Austin, selfless teamwork. Who wants the super shot? Garvin does. And the Vixens, it's a 3-goal margin. They've had a quality power 5.
Yeah, 10-2 in 3 minutes.
Tilly Garrett sneaking past Kira Austin, who didn't rip the ball in, and Garrett will remind her that that's not good enough. You have to draw the ball into your body if you want it. Austin opens up the hold.
I thought that was great timing from Austin on that drive to the post, so it was great elevation from Coffey to match it.
Coffey with their hands over the Austin shot. Austin, it looks good. 1 point secured. 4 goals now, 90 seconds remaining. Thunderbirds centre. Austin under the post by herself.
Someone's lost a bit. Laura Sherian.
Unfortunate, because Austin had such strong positioning. She still jostles for the front posse over Rudy Ellis, but uses the back way too cleanly. Another 1-pointer, keeping the Thunderbirds in front, well, arm's distance. 1 minute now. Vixens under pressure if they want to make something. No time to not take the shot. Garvin just wanting Austin to have it. Understandable, because Austin is so effective under the post. And in the super shot zone, Vixens, 37 seconds remaining for them to make something. Sherian holds onto the ball. Austin outside the ring. Sherian again. Thunderbirds are going to take their time. They're not under time pressure. The Vixens are. 4 goals in 20 seconds. Can it be done? Austin feeds to a plucky Garvin. Garvin has no choice but to take it. And the crowd fall flat. 5 seconds remaining. Thunderbirds, they'll look for one more, but they don't need it. Thunderbirds taking the chockies, 60 to 56. Vixens, no wins at Ballarat, but Thunderbirds will be happy with this finish.
Yeah, Thunderbirds come away with 2 weekends for the weekend. Vixens with 2 losses, and Fever and Giants with a win and a loss each. So probably not too much to read into it. We may get a clearer picture through Team Girls Cup next weekend. Again, that's a very different competition where matches are only 40 minutes long. So you probably wouldn't read too much into it in terms of wins and losses and probably score lines, but certainly the output, I think the Vixens would be happy with maybe 4 minutes out of that Power 5 period in the last quarter, but that second half was probably had a few more questions that they will want answered before they head into the season.
Well, I think so many questions from the Thunderbirds side of things. Can they go back to back? Will their lineup have the strength to go all the way? What's your read now? We're 60 minutes more a vision of what this 2024 T-Birds lineup's going to look like. How are you rating their chances in 2024?
It's such a big question. Eleanor Cardwell was such a linchpin for the Thunderbirds last year, and her moving to the Mavericks. The question was, how is that gap bridged, or who's going to fill in those shoes? A really astute signing, I think, of Melda Aker-George. She will play her part the way that she has at the Swifts. And she certainly came out today with great accuracy, including 12 from 12 in that last quarter. So, again, this is about the tactics of the game now, with athletes who play certain roles, or who are expanding their repertoire to play different roles in different clubs. So I think they've got it in them to make the four, and then once you make the four, it's anyone's game.
Absolutely anyone's game, but the Thunderbirds will be excited, of course, Team Girls Cup next weekend, and then their round one matchup against the Queensland Firebirds at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre at home on Saturday, April 13th. So lots to look forward to if you are a T-Birds fan, but so much to look forward to if you're a Vixens fan. Of course, they also play on the 14th of April against the Melbourne Mavericks, first ever Melbourne New Look derby, so very exciting. If you want tickets to that one, head to melbournevixens.com.au or Ticketek to book. But my, oh my, what a weekend. A weekend here at Ballarat Blitz, thanks to the City of Ballarat and the Victorian Government. Michael Hutchinson, any final thoughts on the weekend?
No. I think I've given enough thoughts for people to go away with. I will say, though, that I think the Lightning will make the finals this year. The Vixens, after that performance, have not convinced me whatsoever. So putting them back in the pack, I think the Swifts, Fever and Thunderbirds will be in the mix as well. I can't see the Mavericks with the loss of Sasha Glasgow. I think that's perhaps a bridge too far for them. Don't think the Firebirds will make the finals. And the Giants, I mean, they've been good in parts today, but probably, I mean, they probably pulled a shocker in that last quarter against the Thunderbirds yesterday. So consistent today and not so much yesterday as a question mark over them, and probably their experience defensively and some new combinations they need to try there as well. But who knows? I don't know that we're going to get too much of a clearer picture either out of Team Girls Cup next week. It's not really ever been an indicator of how the season proper's performed, but it's certainly a great chance to get out there. I know they're really keen to pack out Ken Rosewell Arena across those 3 days to get netball fans really excited for the season that's going to start in 3 short weeks.
Well, there's nothing more that I love than reading into pre-season netball matches. You think it doesn't have a correlation? I want all the hot takes and all of the hot reads. So
we've just booked in a 4-hour chat, so we'll get that done.
Absolutely. Super Netball's pre-season tournament, the Team Girls Cup, is happening next weekend. So we want all of your hot takes on Twitter. All the netty heads will be getting around that one. If you can head to Sydney, do so. If you're a Vixens fan staying at home, you can watch every game live on Foxtel and KO. So much netball, even though the season doesn't kick off till April 13th. So much to look forward to, and lots of great promising things from the Melbourne Vixens today. All right, Michael's had enough. He said no more hot takes from me. The laptop's put away. I'm happy to call this one a day. Michael Hutchinson, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
My name's Hannah Kuhar. We're going to sign off with lots of love from the Ballarat Blitz. Can't wait to do this again soon. And make sure, if you are a Melbourne Vixens fan, you head up to the melbournevixens.com.au to grab your tickets to all Melbourne Vixens home games and your Vixens membership, because it's going to be a cracker of a season. Signing off now from Ballarat Blitz. Have a great weekend. Takes the front sweep.
Touch from Mannix.
Mannix takes the front sweep.
Touch from Mannix.
Mannix keeps that settler. And again, Emma needs that settler. And again, Emma threw awesome ball to Austin, but she couldn't take